So how long have you been doing that?
We've been doing this since September, and it just started out me and some chef friends just sitting around talking about food and stuff.
Do you want to sit here to get us both on it, or?
This will be good. And kind of got tired of the same old Thomas Morris thing, you know, and it's all about the Brennans.
He's such a douche. I mean, he's bought. He's bought.
Yeah, and
you advertise with him, he loves you.
And it comes across like that, you know, and for him to say, you know, don't go to any new restaurants for 6 months and this and that, it's just like, you know, that's when, you know, they need you.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You know, the first 6 months is when they tank.
It's crucial.
So if you don't start building something up at that point, you're shooting yourself in the ass.
Yeah, but he does have a loyal following.
Yeah. 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
Is what I found. You know, with money.
Yeah.
You know, they
yeah,
have
with
money
money.
and they go out. And when he mentioned us a couple of times for Buddha, you know, they would come in all the time. Hey, heard you on the time this morning.
Really? That's cool that he did that.
You know.
And why did he do that?
People were calling in a lot.
Gotcha.
Because we had a good product. And then he became to the point where he thought that we were getting people to call. And we didn't even know that he was even talking about us until people came in.
Man,
We were too busy working, you know, during that time. You know.
It's funny, I got a guy that worked for me at Chili's. The server, bartender. And when Pancho was getting ready to reopen, you know, Tom Fitzmaurice was just like, who in the hell eats there? And I totally agree, but David DeLuca would call in and talk about raising the flag. And finally, he's like, you're banned from the show. Well, then he would call in and use other names. So then he'd throw out on his Facebook, hey, I'm calling in to Tom Fitzmaurice. So I'd turn it on if I was in the car.
Yeah.
I want to hear this. And he would call in, he's like, oh, this is Mark Whitman. And he starts talking the whole line, and then all of a sudden, he throws it in. First it's subtle, and then it's a little more, and he goes, oh, you got me again, and he just hangs up on him. He called one day from Ponchos, and he goes, Tom, you know what I'm doing right now? They're like, he's in the flag. And it's just classic. And he would just torment it.
Right.
I was like, this is awesome.
Well, I started out in Chalmette, and I was 16 years old, and I worked at the Ponchos on Judge Perez, right?
Yeah.
So I was a little taco guy, and I was making tacos. It was a different company than what it turned out. I think they had that last one over there off of Airline.
Right.
That's a horrible start to a day.
Chilerianos was always
It was just funny. He just tormented Tom Fitzmaurice. And he would throw it out on Facebook, hey, this is what I'm doing, and people would just, oh my God, you gotta listen, because he's gonna have. And he would just start talking about whatever he likes to talk about, whatever. He would just lure him in, and then he'd start talking about Pancho.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, we're just going to talk about real loosely. We try to have just real loose conversations to learn a bit about how you guys started your little story on being a small business person in New Orleans. And talk about little food, maybe where you'd suggest people go eat, you know, little places that might be unknown or something like that.
Okay.
Just real casual. Hey there, everyone. This is Rob Bechtold from NOLA Smokehouse, bringing you NOLA Food Podcast. We are here today. I'm sorry, I don't know your last name.
Degree. Just like the temperature.
Degree, okay. I just know you as Phil. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Rob Bechtold from NOLA Smokehouse, bringing you NOLA Food Podcast. We are here at Phil's Grill in Harahan with Phil Degree. And welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
What got you started in New Orleans food? How did you start making your mark?
I started in the restaurant industry as a server with Chili's. I just got out of the Army. And
Locally?
Locally, yeah. Needed something to do. And moved up through the ranks, and after 9 years with them.
Which one?
Started in Kenner, that is now Z. I started at that location, wait tables. And it's funny, people would, the bartender walked out one night and said, hey, I can do that. The fry cook walked out one night, we weren't getting apps to the bar, and I told the other bartender, I said, man, I'm going in.
Yeah.
And then, moved around the kitchen and worked both front of house and back of house. And the manager walked out and threw me the keys and said, quit. I said, all right.
I worked part-time at the one on Vets, so I was
there.
a taco fry guy.
Yeah.
So I know about the Blossom and the whole thing. You know,
Right.
coming up through the ranks, you get jobs where you can. And,
Yeah.
and I thought, for the longest time that Red Lobster, when I was growing up, Red Lobster was fine dining. So, I didn't really know any better until I educated myself.
Yeah.
But Chili's, they always had a great product.
I went from a server with no restaurant experience to a managing partner, and was with them for 9 years, and then bounced around the state, moved all over 7 times in 9 years, Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, and then moved back here. Was working with Zia, and storm hit. Did a little left there, and took a little job with a small concept on an old shore, thinking we were going to really grow that, and that wasn't working. And
Was that a burger concept, or was it?
No, it was just a little fast casual type. They had everything. They had burgers, they had wraps, they had everything. Fried shrimp, fried burgers, fried catfish. Yeah. So I was looking, and I'm gonna leave again, move again. That's what we did. And my wife said, "I'm not going." She said, "I'm not moving again. Let's stay here, open your own place." And I didn't know that was an option. And being that it was after the storm, there was opportunities. So
you had the back of the house knowledge, you had the front of the house knowledge. Go
management,
out
big
there
corporate background.
and take a step and do it yourself.
Yeah, and my wife said, let's just be part of the rebuild. And, I really didn't think that was ever an option.
You have 2 sons also, so that had to,
now 3.
that had to weigh into your thought process, right?
Yeah, it's kind of scary because you don't know. My wife's a school teacher. It's not like we're rolling, and we just got money backed up. And she's like, go play. It was scary, And the first, literally 2 months into it, I struggled to make payroll. We were just barely surviving, and my attorney said, let's shut it down. So I fired my attorney, which saved me a little bit of money. And thankfully, a family member that stepped up and said, here you go, make payroll. And we kept grinding away, and 5 months into it, Brett Anderson wrote an article, his 5 favorite burgers in the city, and included us in it. And
What was the first location?
on Severn. Yep.
The old O'Henry.
The old O'Henry's. And it was an O'Henry's for 15 years. They averaged about 14,000 weekly sales. He told me when I signed the deal, you'll have a nice little job. And I thought, man, I'll go work for somebody. If this is, I had visions of growing. And when Brett Anderson wrote that article, it just, I remember calling my wife, who's never worked in the restaurant business. I called her, she's a school teacher, sent her a text at like 1:30, and I said, there's a line around the door, around the block, pick up Jackson, who was, I guess, 10 at the time, and get here, because I need help. And when she shows up with my 10-year-old son, who knew the table numbers, who'd come in and work,
Hey, y'all watch that?
she
For a
goes,
second.
what am I supposed to do? I said, people are going to want to know who Phil is. I'm on the grill, be Mrs. Phil. Just smile, be happy. He'll tell you what the table numbers are, just run food. And it just took off. And we've just been extremely successful there.
Awesome location right there by
Great
Lakeside.
location. Parking for customers sucks. For me, it's always full. So, when they say, Phil, don't you hate the parking? I'm like, no. It's always full. So, parking's a challenge, but parking's a challenge everywhere.
What made y'all decide to look in Metairie instead of the New Orleans area or Mid City, or why did y'all choose Jefferson?
I live out here, so that was easy. But I've always heard horror stories about Orleans Parish, and then there was an opportunity right there. So most of it was opportunity driven. Part of it was, I think when I was designing the restaurant, I thought this is an uptown concept. So I've always thought that, but there wasn't the right opportunity. So there was an opportunity out there, jumped on it, and that's what was going to home run.
When gourmet burgers, upscale burgers are really taking off in the city, national brands are starting to see, hey, these people like burgers. You know, you got the Five Guys, you know, around the corner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's going to keep y'all different than everybody else?
Well, you know, burgers have been the #1 selling menu item in the industry for over 30 years. That ain't going away.
Right.
And so when everybody, you know, I was kind of the first burger-specific concept. And really, when I was laying it out, I had everything on there. And local chef, Gary Darwin, I worked for him at Zia. We had breakfast a couple of times, and he'd look at it, and he kept, you know, are you passionate about this? Yeah. Get this off, take this off.
Making sure it's not stale.
You don't want to do everything. You can't be everything to everyone. And we just, about the third time we met, he goes, Phil, all you talk about are burgers. Just do burgers. Nobody does just burgers. I thought, yeah, you're right. Now everybody's trying to do burgers. But
Well,
you
it
know,
seems like there was a hole.
There was a hole.
And then people started to fill it, and
Right.
people saw that it was successful. Sort of like the barbecue machine.
yeah, you know, people jump on it. But I think what's going to keep us different, being the local guys, is A, we're local. We're more engaged. I think there's an excitement. You know, chain restaurants have never really been successful in the world. Well, now they're all coming in. And
3-hour wait at Buffalo Wild Wings. This
How crazy
past
is that?
weekend and stuff, you know.
that is insane.
People show up.
But people show up. But I think it's good for the economy. And I think people see that these big corporations are excited about New Orleans. So they're excited about it. And they'll always have their place. But the local guys, we're in the communities, we're engaged in our business, with our customers, with our employees. So I think that, for one thing, sets us apart. The other thing for me is it feels it's a burger experience. And I hate burgers all over the place. So if you're serving a burger, I've probably eaten it. And if it's good, I'm going to tell you about it. I was just telling somebody yesterday about absolutely hands down a religious experience. But we're a burger experience. The number of ways you can build your burger, the quality is there.
Yeah, that's what I saw with just variation of sauces.
Yeah, the sauces, you know, the different meats, the alligator, the turkey, the bison. You're not getting that anywhere else. Not consistently. You know, somebody might bring it in seasonally. You know, we do it all the time. So it's a true build your own burger. Whereas some places, you know, say, hey, we'll build your own. They're limited in what that build your own is. Yeah. But so I think that sets us apart. You know, there's a value. It's a big ass burger. You're getting a lot for it, and the price point is right there. You know, people are like, I don't know if I'm gonna spend $10 for a burger. Yeah, you are. Anywhere you go, you know, it's just the reality. You know, food costs are outrageous. So all the local guys, the burger joints, you know, we all do it a little bit differently. So you know, I think it's good. I think it was good for me when these other guys came in because it just brought more focus to the burger segment of the industry. You know, and there's some that I'm just a fan of. You know, I eat there when I'm in that neighborhood. Uptown has a ton. So now I don't really think I'm an uptown concept because I'm like, there's 12 different burger places uptown. Why, you know, let's not do this.
Fill that hole out.
Right. I'll wait. Yeah. So I'll get somewhere in New Orleans at some point.
Well, you started off with the one store, and now you have 3, right?
I've opened the first 4 years. I opened 4 restaurants.
Wow.
Close to. But yeah, we just, you know, we had some traction. People love it, and there's still a lot of interest in it. You know, I have a lot of interest right now in doing another location. Interest from outside the restaurant, outside the company. So I'm very fortunate in that respect. Burgers are still hot. We're still hot. You know, we might not. Everyone may not consider us the best burger, but we're always in the conversation. And that, to me, that in the community element of it, you know, what we've done, you know, what we do, continue to do every month, you know, we're doing something to be considered one of the best in any segment of the industry in this culinary environment. Completely never thought of it. Just thought, you know, I'm having a product.
Well, I read about y'all, and y'all do have a good community outreach. What inspired that, or what drove that? You know, because you could just be the business guy and just take care of yourself and not worry about your neighbors back there.
Well, that was a big focus. You know, working corporate. You know, hey, you got to be involved, and it would be involved at different levels. You know, but you know, like I said, my wife said, let's be part of the rebuilding. So it was easy to jump in. And
After the storm, there were just tons of opportunities.
ton of opportunities. And the big thing for me, I guess I have little kids, 3 young kids now. My wife's a teacher. So I think anything to do with kids, family is big. My kids play ball, play at the playgrounds. And so I decided I created Burger Blues, where we would do a month-long. May is National Burger Month. I'm going to do this big thing. I'm going to get some local celebrities. And people said, how are you going to get local celebrities? Fortunate enough to have friends who introduced me to different people. And we partnered with the Miracle League. And that is a baseball league for kids with special needs, physically, mentally disabled. They play on this special, they have a special playground, ball field out at Carrollton Playground. And that has taken off. And I didn't really get it. The first year we did it, my wife was in the hospital with her youngest, in and out of, she's in the NICU for 5 weeks. I'm sitting at the playground, pissed off, because I should be at the restaurant or I should be at the hospital. And I'm at the playground with my other 2 boys playing baseball, and Pierre Thomas was my partner that year. I called him up and went, PT, again. He goes, what do you mean? What's going on? I said, man, we're doing this for the parents, because here I am grumbling and I'm out at the playground. Those parents now have a place where they can take their kids and watch their kids play. And it's taken off. And this year, 2012, we raised $20,000 in May alone, just in May. And we do things throughout the year, but that's our big thing, is the Miracle League. And it's just grown, and it'll never go away. As far as the community thing, because it's just a lot of you get what you put into it. You get out of it what you put into it.
It's that big whole circle thing constantly. You get out there.
When things are going rough, and you know how it is. There are times where, man, am I going to have payroll this month? Am I going to be able to pay rent? And I think, it could be a lot worse. And makes you feel good about it. I'm doing good things. Good things are going to happen to me. And you're right. So, it'll never go. The community thing will never go away. That's just ingrained in our fabric. Boys love it.
It seems to be just the people in this area alone. When the storms hit, people are out there helping. You hear about chefs feeding, opening up their kitchens, trying to get back and having, lower price, meal items
just to get open.
And I think that's really important. I think the new business that started after Katrina was so vital, just to the rebuild.
Well, we saw that after Isaac. We were able to open here at Harahan on Thursday, a day after the storm goes through.
No electricity loss.
No electricity loss here. That Severn was shut down for a week, but here we were able to open right away. Well, people just a stone's throw from here had no power. The other side of the street had no power for a week, and people just wanted to come in. That first morning, they see us milling around. They'd come in. We're brewing coffee for them. Hey, we're going to open at 2, and they're just people coming in, plugging in their phones and computers, just to get open. They were just like, oh, we just want to get out of our house, and it does. It means something. The businesses that can get open as quickly as they can. It's not about the money, though. We suffer too. But it's about we provide that sense of normalcy when it's not normal. So
I was charging my phone in the Prius, and the smokehouse lost, all the food, and at that point you're just like, wow, a helping hand and some lights and a place to charge your phone and just a little air conditioning just gives you a little bit of normalcy and it kind of brings you back.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a different business environment now since Katrina in the city, in the area.
Well, and it shows that our small business leaders have a heart, and it's not all about the bottom dollar. And I don't think anybody becomes a successful business person without, some help along the way.
Right.
Without some, help either with advice or financial or
right.
whatever. Do you have any advice for any small business people out there if they wanted to get things started or
Good
or
lawyer.
maybe some first steps?
Like good legal advice,
Right.
good financial advice, and people that aren't going to just pat you on the back and tell you how great you are.
Right.
Because that
Compliments don't build you, really. Right.
compliments don't do anything for you. I mean, it helps you, you know. But
Ego, but
you
it's great what you're
you need to surround yourself with people who are going to be honest with you and say,
Real
"Hey,
talk, right?
yeah. I think that is the biggest thing. You know, when I wasn't open a year, and people were like, Mandeville. You're in Mandeville. It lasted 4 months.
Yeah.
And those people that were stopping and eating before they headed back across the lake weren't stopping and eating again when they got to the other side of the lake. And you know, it's rough. You know, people didn't say, you know, they just said, build it, he'll come.
Right.
Not Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Well, I got the same advice when I did food. They're
Yeah.
like, smoke it and they will come.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of challenges there in Fat City. That's
Right.
where we first met.
Right.
We actually had a meeting once at food. And has any of that affected y'all, the Fat City issue? And I know they got a Times Square guy coming in, going to revamp everything.
I'm on the Fat City Advisory Board for that.
I know that's kind of on the outskirts too, because some
Yeah.
places on Severn are in Fat City, some aren't. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of squirrely.
Yeah.
I don't know that a whole lot is going to ever change there because there's such fractured land ownership. You know, my piece of property is, I guess, you know, the business right next to me, we're owned by a trust fund. The businesses behind us we're in the same building.
Yeah.
We butt up to each other. They're owned by another trust fund. It's just fractured ownership that it's going to be hard to pull that together.
Well, I mean, I first moved here when I was 8 years old. My family moved on, you know, and I thought Fat City was the French Quarter. You know,
Right.
coming from Georgia, I thought that was it. You know, they had the ship's wheel there, and
Right.
the girly girls. It was the first time I saw a shrimp place.
Right.
But now I bring my daughter to Grace King.
Yeah.
And I go through that same intersection, and you know, Crazy Larry's is closed, and the Circle K is closed, and you know, Drago's is everywhere, and it just doesn't even seem like the same place. I used to hang out at the Last Stop and
Right.
Dino's, and it used to be a vibrant, you know, it might have been, you know, a bunch of drunk kids, but at least it was bringing income into the city. And now it just seems like it's
There's a lot of vacant properties.
Yeah.
A lot of vacant properties. You know, and that, you know, they're trying to crack down on a lot of those types of businesses, which I don't know if that's.
Well, was it after the storm? People just didn't show back up, or
I think there was a different influx of residences coming in.
we had a lot of Latinos from the construction and helping rebuild.
And so it's a difficult dynamic there, I think, to get it squared away. I think it's going to be tough.
Cynthia Lee, she's over the whole thing.
Right.
met
She's
with her,
championing the cause.
Right.
Which she's got the best intentions, but
Creating a lot of enemies too with some of the bars and stuff with the
Yeah.
regulations on staying open late and stuff like that. It kind of killed the late night bars.
like one of my inspiration at Phil's was the bar and burger. And get off of work. Where are you gonna go? And a lot of times I ended up at the bottom line.
Right.
And
Sure. Eating my shit.
you know, end up there at the bottom line and
Big
you know,
greasy fries.
Yeah, great burger. Well, when they draw out Fat City, you know, at the intersection of, you know, where Loggers is, that's Fat City, but then it goes like around the bottom line. Oh, you're not actually in Fat City. So then they had to shut down, and it was real weird. You know, well, there's violence. Well, the last two places that had shootings were Loggers and Applebee's. Not them.
Right.
Yet they can. I don't know. It's kind of crazy how they did all
They're
that.
gonna shut down Applebee's, you know.
You're
That's
not
like-
going to shut down that. You know, how did, I don't know, it's kind of, yeah, they pushed out a lot of entrepreneurs like us. I don't know that they meant to push everyone out, but it's kind of, that's what happened.
Well, as a business owner there, just the signage stipulations and having to get a permit to, you know, wipe your ass. And it was crazy. And then they wanted to change the old signage to I forget what they called it, but smaller signs
Right.
where it wouldn't be over, you know, a couple of feet tall. And it was just insane. And you felt like you were stepping into this this quagmire of mess that you really didn't want to be in. You just wanted to be a small business owner trying to.
Well, I get a lot of. I get a lot. The whole reason I was put on the. I don't know if it's the whole reason, but when they called me and said, "Hey, will you sit on this board?" I was like, "You don't understand. I'm not a fan because code enforcement is out there all the time. You know, I had to, open a business. I got trash. There's no dumpster. There's no grease recyclable. I gotta have that stuff. So I get it. Take up a parking space. Oh, well, you gotta be fenced in. Really? No one else is fenced in. I mean, the guy across the street. There's 2 restaurants there. They're not fenced in.
But if it's
But
new,
you're high profile. No,
okay.
I had it for 3 years. They told me I'm high profile.
high profile.
I said, what the hell does that mean? Well, people know Phil's cool. People come to Phil's cool. So, so I had to fence mine. All right. Well, everyone else has to. Well, no, not really. And we'll get to that. 18th Street has to. And so he has a lot of bullshit. It's that code enforcement. And they kept telling me, but you were high profile.
I mean, what is it for? Is it for financial gain? Is it? Are they just being assholes?
No. They're trying to reel it all in.
They're trying to change the overall impression of what Fat City used to be.
And I think they're still trying to be politically correct in the sense. I mean, you got a lot of Section 8 housing. A lot of the problems, the crime, the vagrancy, the loitering, a lot of that comes from that. Nobody's going to rip the Band-Aid off and say, we need to move those guys to make this.
But in the 80s, it was lower income. It was the same thing. So maybe that's just a lower income area, and we either work around it. But it seems like they would rather kill it than even let it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to kill it and rebuild it instead of try to just rebuild it. Then you got the condo association. Yeah, you got condo associations there. I was sitting in a meeting one day and they were talking about those guys, that faction. They wanted to change the name from Fat City. That was their big focus, was the name Fat City. I don't want to be called Fat City. That's what resonates. That's what the consultants say. And when I'm on an airplane, and I talk to somebody, I'm doing this project around Fat City. Oh, I know what Fat City is, yeah. Resonates. Go around it. There you go. There's your branding. But so
it's a local landmark.
It's a local landmark. So I think, they could have changed that up. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they have to kill it and then rebuild it. I think there's a way to do it, but when you have so much fractured ownership, there's flooding, just everything. We had a problem with sewage. They say, well, we think it happened when we fixed 18th Street. It kind of damaged down there by you. You don't want us tearing that up, and I don't. So it's kind of it's a mess. I don't know that you can ever really fix it because it's a mess. Unless you have somebody that comes in, some big developer. We as a board suggested moving the courthouse into Fat City. Well, the judges don't want it. Aren't they elected officials? Don't they work for us? Who cares where you hang your robe? If we tell you you're not hanging it at West Metairie and David. But that's not how it works. So there's this. It's going to be rough. I think it's going to be a long go, but it is a good area to be in. There's a lot of traffic. It's been really good to me. Though they,
I mean, Mardi Gras is just insane around there.
Mardi Gras hurts my business.
Really?
Yeah, I knew it going in. I like uptown Mardi Gras anyway, so personally. So I'm like, whatever. But I knew going in from running the Chili's on Vets. That's the slowest 2 weeks of the year. People, the people that come out to Severn, they're not coming out to eat. And they're coming out to use your bathroom. May occasionally, may a little bit, but they're not coming out to eat. So it's not your regular customers. And your regular customers actually stay away because they can't fight the traffic. I would like Mardi Gras to just skip Severn and just go down Vets because then we'd be busy. Because we'd be 3 blocks off. Yeah, we'd be 3 blocks off the route, but they won't listen to me. They won't listen to me. So we've tried everything. We've had a bar outside. But we've tried all kinds of things, and it just doesn't pick up for us. So.
Well, usually on the podcast we ask people, you know, if they have any suggestions on places, maybe some unknown places that people might want to try out in the city, Metairie, Jefferson Parish, wherever, that you might want to give a shout out to.
You know, a place I love, one of my favorite restaurants, is the Blue Tomato, Jefferson.
I used to live on Central for a minute.
And there's nothing that I can, nothing distinctive about it. But when you go in there, like, you don't realize how good of an experience it was until you're talking to somebody like, oh, what'd you do this week? Blue Tomato. And it was awesome. And it's just, I think it's just the way you feel, the way they treat you. I mean,
they have a great burger.
Yeah. It's just, I've never had anything there that I didn't like. And I've never been in there and felt like I wasn't, I guess, part of the family. And it's just kind of crazy. I don't know. It's just one of those, nothing too distinctive, but it's.
And I think they got into some trouble with Isaac. I think they got.
Yeah, they had a little bit of damage. Yeah. But they're real.
Yeah.
Another place to tell you, a little known to me, it was a religious experience. The pimento burger at I-Hat or Threat. Oh man, that incredible. Good restaurant. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff there.
There's Saloni's.
Yeah.
Well known.
But pizza burger, religious experience.
Check that out.
Yeah. Theo's, we love Theo's pizza. We like pizza, so we eat it. You know, Theo's, Crescent 5, ate at Rockies on Thanksgiving, you know, slice. Because you just get a slice of pizza. Everybody can be satisfied. But man, Theo's, to me, the Jammer's original. Hands down, best meal I've ever had in a restaurant. Clancy's. The waiter, I said, what would you get? They get seriously? He said, yeah. Liver and onions. Not. Alright. My wife's like, seriously, get me liver and onions? Dude says it's to die for. And it was. Hands down, the best restaurant meal I've ever had. Yeah. I was like, I called my mom. I'm like, remember you tried to serve me this crap? She's like, you wouldn't eat it. I eat it now.
First time I ever cooked it, I was working at Cafe
to him, I got
Sewer over there, and we used to get the cat from them. And the French do it very simple: just salt, pepper, a little flour, but getting it crisp, and then adding a little butter, and then let the brown butter kind of crisp on that flour is really key.
Yeah.
So you got the different textures with the irony and the whole thing. Was it a butter sauce or red wine or?
No, it's a butter sauce. Yeah.
Go fat on fat.
Yeah. You can't really.
Cool. Well, how can everybody get in touch with Phil if they want to get in touch with you? You're on Twitter. I see you all the time.
Facebook, our web, phils-grill.com.
What are your 3 locations out there?
We have 2 locations right now, Metairie and Harahan.
Oh, okay.
Metairie at 3020 Suburban, directly across the street from Tiger Gifts and JC Penney's. And then here at Harahan, Hickory and Citrus.
And the same hours for both places?
Yeah, we open at 11 every day, close at 9 Sunday through Thursday, and 10 on weekends.
And you are doing a little thing with the things
So last year, we're going into football season, we got a lockout in. It's like I have like 3 interests.
Yeah.
Politics, football, and burgers. That's it, you know. So you need a block. What are we gonna talk about? I would just talk about those 3 things.
Yeah.
2 of them are gonna forget you. But anyway, I was all excited. I said, man, let's do burgers of the month in September, burgers of the week, based on who these things play. All right. Well, about 3 weeks into it, we're like, man, well, let's do this the whole year. I didn't look at the schedule. I didn't play like Indianapolis. What the hell? Detroit. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, what are we gonna do? Well, so we had to do a lot of research. We ended up having some really cool burgers. It was a lot of fun, but it was hard. And like at the last minute, like, all right, game Sunday, Monday, what do we serve? Oh shit. So this year we did a little app on our Facebook and on our website and asked guests to build the burgers. So we do different burgers of the week. And you can suggest them. You can suggest a name. You can suggest a theme. And we just go go down
It's
through
cool
the
with
season.
the pictures.
Yeah, it's fun. So we do a different burger of the week. You know, we typically do burgers of the month, and now we're doing burgers of the week based on who the Saints play. And I'm tweeting and harassing guys in other cities, you know, media, football players, whatever. Last year we named we're going to play Minnesota, so Jared Allen he just come out with some disparaging remarks about the city, and so Wichita was on it, called Wichita Vikings, and I'm tweeting him about it. Finally, I get a tweet back that says,
Well, at least he earned it.
yeah, this year. All right, so last year the Lions burned first Detroit game. We can't think of it. God, we're sitting here, my chef Justin Jones and I, marketing maniac Shannon. We're just we don't know what we're gonna do. We're some customers like
Hard to get lion meat.
yeah, you can't get it. This customer's like I'm from Michigan. You know what Ford stands for? Found on road dead. We eat a lot of roadkill. Do a venison burger. So Gambit's interviewing me about the Burger Bowl. And I tell him that story. Well, I get a phone call from some lady from the Seattle Times. And I'm like, yeah, she goes, I used to cover the food scene in Detroit. As if there's a food scene in Detroit. But she covered it. And would you cover Papa John's? But she goes, you're wrong. I'm calling bullshit. And literally, so I didn't think it was an interview, so I started telling her. And now she's in Seattle. You know, how did you get that? We don't eat roadkill, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek later. You know? And it was actually an interview. So I'm interviewed in the Seattle Times this year. We don't even play the Seahawks. So I hope we play on the playoffs. She goes, yeah, what are you going to do? I said, we're going beast mode on y'all. You know, I don't know. Will the beast burger, I don't know. But, yeah, so we're getting a lot of attention, which is fun. Steve Briscoe with CBS.com out of Atlanta hates me too.
Y'all had the Falcon.
Yeah, we had the fried Falcon. Yeah, the fried Falcon. I don't know what we're gonna do for the next one, but you know, we just kind of. I'm obnoxious by nature, so just kind of try to have fun with it. You know, in addition to the Burger Bowl, our November or Thanksgiving tradition has been the turducken burger. So we do that for the whole month as well. And this year, just by nature, we took some cornbread stuffing and zapped it, fried it, and zapped tortilla chips and topped that turducken burger like that.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so you got, you know, you can come in and build your burger any way you want, pretty much. Or you get that turducken burger, pull that burger.
You can help them out a lot.
Yeah.
They're creative.
Yeah. So it's fun. We try to have a lot of fun with it. The burger of the week, that's for us to have fun. The burger of the month, you know, that's for us. You know, have a chef that works for us. So that's for his creativity. Keep him
And you're encouraging them to think outside the box.
I have to make him. Sometimes I have to feed him over there. Dude, come on. And he's like, God, you're killing me. It's kind of like, you can do this every week.
Sure.
You know?
Well, y'all come out and support local and try Mr. Phil's burgers out. They are delicious. And we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, Phil.
Hey, man, thank you. Appreciate it. So you download this from iTunes, right?
Yeah, I uploaded to iTunes and I got it from Stitcher now. We'll put it out on YouTube. We're finishing up the ladies this month and you'll be out the first in December. And I'll hit you with all the, you know, the links and tag you with everything. So it's great. Yeah. A lot of people have been hearing it. We already have 21,000 hits, so that means 21,000 times it's been listened to one of the programs. And we're on show 16. So
That's all?
yeah. And it all came up. We wanted some advertisement, and we really couldn't afford it. And I was thinking, I was like, Joe Rogan, you know, I listened to his podcast.
Right.
I used to be a Howard Stern guy, so I always like talk radio.
Right.
But listening to Joe Rogan, he started doing it and getting a lot of advertising and sponsors and this and that. I was like, hey, this might be a great way to get another voice out there. So we took a sip, and then it just kind of took off.
That's awesome. And then Nola Smokehouse, you're just doing catering right now, pretty much.
Catering, I'm doing plate deliveries. I'm working with some bars down town and the central businesses kind of down in the parks. They go on Wednesday, and kind of slow. I can get my people in there. Pop-ups really get 2% of the profits. Don't have to pay for anything else. Just my food. So I mean, right now that's great.
So you use their staff?
No,
Okay.
it's just me and my wife.
Gotcha.
So we've got it pretty down to where we're popping it out. We've got it to where we're reheating nice, and the barbecue's already kind of warm anyway, so we're slicing it and bringing it back to life. But yeah, it's doing all right. Would I love bricks and mortar? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think just at this point, I'm still in the game.
Yeah.
After Buddha, that could kill a lot of vegetables.
Yeah.
I mean, Beyonce killed my heart. Right. But you know that it is. I mean, there's multiple ways to do it. But I'm a chef. You know, it was either we do something with the momentum we already built, or go back to big balls and put an orange on it.
Right.
Just didn't want to do that.
Right.
My wife told me, she was like,
What does she do?
she's also in the industry. She works at Cafe over in Fat City.
All that I got is like crazy much sugar.
And so she helps out there, and then she takes care of the business part a little bit. About food. All the sauces and stuff like that. So it's definitely mom and pop and his family.
Already tried that.
Oh yeah.
My daughter, we popped up at Pete's Meter 2 weeks ago. And took over their kitchen for a Sunday. And my daughter was there, you know, bussing tables and stuff like that. So when I read that, you know, with your kids, I was like, I mean, that's just what you do, right?
Yeah, we came in to eat last night.
Hell.
My 12-year-old was like, can I work? yeah, please, go do something.
Right.
You know, my 4-year-old was like, I want to work.
Yeah, I had my daughters in the kitchen squeezing lemons, you know, when they were little, or just whatever they could do to help out.
Yeah, now it's like my 14-year-old's like, can you come help? I can call, yeah. Can you come help?
Right.
You know, if I'm at Metairie, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Get your mom to help you out. She can shout.
It's good that you have that.
Yeah.
You know, you can depend on it. And that's one of the things I was doing about being in the bars, because I can't bring my daughter. I want her to see me out there hustling.
Yeah.
I want her to say, if I hustle, I'm successful.
The thing with bar with burger was nice. But I used to take them to kids. Can't bring them into the bar. So, not anymore.
Right.
But, yeah, so it's stuff. It ain't easy doing what we do. You know, people just, they think it is.
Well, I really appreciate all the reviews and everything that send out to us. We're small fish trying to make a splash, you know. And
Right.
I think we got a lot of friends and a lot of good people following us. And hopefully it's enough. You know? Leaving the Avenue Club kind of hurt us, you know, especially during the holidays. But you know, you just keep on trucking.
Right.
Put out place delivery, do whatever it takes to get to that next stop.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Perseverance means something.
And sooner or later, somebody will notice it, and
It's not going to go your way.
and sometimes you gotta make shit happen.
Sometimes you got to make shit.
Like before this podcast, I was starting to lose followers and this and that. And I was like, maybe it's just getting boring. Maybe people want to hear something new. I was like, let me give them something new. Let's try it.
Yeah.
You know, put it out there.
I think that's
got a little following.
Yeah.
And then it helps out people like yourself. You know,
Yeah,
other small
absolutely.
business, and then the whole payback.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to, you kind of get back what you put in a lot of
That's it. But after I did I did a podcast with Toots Meadery, and that's when they asked me to come and pop up there for Voodoo Fest.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because they're big in other parts of the country.
Yeah, and I think they should be bigger here, you know, with as many renegade chefs are out there. But I think people are starting to learn. You know, they have some good chefs. They have Tom's doing his thing. They got a new pop-up called Rooster Fish, which they're doing. Some of the guys from Peru Saint are a part of that. You know, there's business out there for creativity.
Yeah.
Yes, there is business out there.
But I think if you're